Hey, good morning. It's Reggie Pegues here, prosperingdad.com, coming to you from the NYC. That's Queens, New York to be exact. And we're continuing with our You Are Worthy series. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I know you guys are amped and you're excited, looking forward toward the weekend. And today we're going to talk about it's going to cost you something. It's going to cost you something. Let me ask you a question. What are you willing to pay to have the type of life that you want to have? As always, if you're watching on YouTube, we started off over here on Facebook Live. So as people come on, type in the comment, let me know where you're viewing me from so I could say good morning. And you that are on YouTube, just indulge me as I acknowledge people in real time. So as you can see, today we're talking about it's going to cost you something. Good morning, Lamont Jones. Good morning, Chandra Pegues. That's my sister's name. I keep telling you that. My youngest sister, that's her name, Chandra Pegues. And you might be asking yourself, it's going to cost me something. Reggie, what are you talking about? What do you actually mean? Good morning, my dear friend April Smith. Good morning. And you might be asking yourself, it's going to cost me something. It's going to cost me something. So what is it? What exactly are you talking about? This morning, every morning, as we've been discussing in this series, we've been talking about our mindset. We've been talking about how to change the narrative in ourselves internally. How do we turn that negative voice in our head to something more positive? Good morning, Jamaica. God bless you and that beautiful daughter of yours. Good morning. Thank you for joining. So how do we turn that negative internal conversation into a positive one? How do we turn it around where we are having the type of thoughts that we need to have, so we are speaking the words that we need to speak to create the manifestation to have the outcomes that we want to have in our life? So as I was saying, every morning I wake up early before the alarm. I make sure that I start my day off in the right way. I start off, obviously start off each and every day with giving thanks that I'm still in the land of the living, and I start just praising and worshiping, and I start off with my I ams, if you're not aware, the two words I am are probably the most powerful words in the spoken English, in the spoken language, period. Not just in English, but globally. It's the I am, because whatever generally follows our I ams is the thing that will manifest itself. When we realize that we're energy, and the energy that we send out is the same thing that we attract back to us, then we will be more cautious of what it is that we say. Because when we think it, that begins to create the energy. When we speak it, it gives it more energy. And when it goes forth, it returns back to us the thing that we sent out. That's why the gospel says that my word should go forth and shall not return void. Shall not return void. So you got to be conscious of what it is. So what's the price that you're willing to pay? That's my little brother. Hey, Joel Perry, my little brother is watching today. Good morning. So we have to ask ourselves, what's the price of admission? Because there's a price. There is a price that we have to pay. There's a price that we have to be willing to offer to obtain the things that we wanted to obtain, and the thing to do and have and be. Because if you watch the video that I did the other day about be, do, have, you have to become the person that you need to be to do the things that you want to do, to have the things that you want to have. Good morning, Selena Summers. Good morning. Good morning, Robin Luttrell. Good morning. Thank you for joining. So you have to be, do, have. So what's the price of admission? Well, I submit to you, that once you can wrap your mind around the fact that there is a price that we have to pay for whatever it is that we want in this life, that the most valuable thing that you're going to have to pay in terms of price is your time. Now, society would have you believe and have you think that time is money. And that's one of the biggest lies that's ever been told. Time is not money. And here's why. Time is the most valuable thing that we have, and it's the only thing that we have that once it's spent, we cannot recover it. We cannot get it back. We could not get it back. Once time is up, the time that we're sharing right now in this moment, we cannot get this time back. Once it's gone, it's gone. You can always get and earn more money. You can always get and get another house. You can always get another car. You can always get material things, but the thing that you cannot get back is time. Successful people already understand and know that the most valuable thing that they own is their time. But what most people don't understand, they use their money to create leverage to buy time. So you might ask yourself, Reggie, what are you talking about? This is just too much. I've never heard this before. And yeah, when I first came in contact with it, it was counterintuitive to the way that I thought as well, because we are not programmed to think that way. We are programmed to feed the machine. We are programmed to be the spokes in the wheel, as it were. We are programmed to get up, work, so we can pay bills, to go to bed, to get back up and continue the cycle for 40-something years in the hopes that the government's going to take care of us or our job is going to take care of us. And right now I'm reading Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. And yes, exactly, April, caught up in the matrix, but I took the right pill. I woke up. In Cash Flow Quadrant, when you start describing the different quadrants, the employee quadrant and the self-employed quadrant and the business owner quadrant and the investor quadrant, when you start examining these things and when you really understand something, which a lot of people are unaware of, when corporations and the government moved from one type of retirement program where the government and your job funded your retirement to a retirement program where you have to fund, and hopefully that your job is helping to contribute to your retirement fund, the situation changed. We went from an industrial mindset to a information age mindset. So a lot of people are still thinking that we're operating in the industrial way in terms of retirement and saving money, but we're actually operating in the information age, and it's much more risky because you got your 401k plan, you got all these other things, but what you're not understanding is that your 401k plan is connected to the market. So you might spend 40, 50, 60 something years putting money into this account in the hopes that the government's going to make up the difference. And with a stock market crash of any type, you could get to the age of retirement and find out that you're broke. And the sad thing about it, the way that it's structured, you won't find out until you get to that place. So what is it going to cost you? It's going to cost you time. It's going to cost you time for you to educate yourself. It's going to cost you time to take self-responsibility, 100% responsibility for yourself and for your future. It's going to take time for you to stop trusting outside entities to assure that you have a future. It's going to take your time. That's the price of admission. It's going to cost you your time. I also want you to know that not knowing is going to cost you. We are living in the information age right now, and I know there are many people who just are not, or to put it another way, many people who are adverse to technology because they're stuck in their habits. Their ego won't allow them to admit the fact that they may not know something, so therefore they can't move forward. But this is a very critical time, because if you don't advance yourself, if you don't, you don't have to know anything, don't have to know everything, but you can reach out to somebody and say, listen, I need help. I need to understand this. I need to understand. You don't have to become a professional investor, but you need to understand how money works. You need to understand how your money works. You need to understand what systems, because that's what we're really talking about. What systems can we put our money in to make our money work for us so we can have a future. One of the major problems with people today is that they're afraid of risk. They're afraid of risk. They're afraid to take the challenge. They're afraid to take responsibility. Everybody wants to be safe, but you can manage risk with the proper knowledge. So not knowing is going to cost you. And the last point I want you to grasp today in this live is that I want you to understand that you got to make a decision. And you can make a decision either way. You can make a decision to participate, or you can make a decision to sit on the sideline. But either way, you're going to make a decision. It's better that you make a decision for yourself and be actively involved in your salvation, as it were, or your rescue, as opposed to sitting on the side and hope somebody saves you. So you got to make a decision. Choose this day. Exactly, April. Choose this day. If you're getting any value out of this, let me get some thumbs right here, or let me get a #1 in the comments. But as we recap today, I want you guys to understand it's going to cost you something. One way or the other, it's going to cost you something. It's going to cost you something, one way or the other. And you got to figure out, what is the price of admission? There is no price too high for me to pay. It's no price too high for you to pay to make sure that you have what you need going into the future. Not knowing is going to cost you. Not knowing is going to cost you. The one thing about an ostrich, I know I'm going a little long today, but just indulge me another minute or two. Not knowing is going to cost you. One analogy that I like to use when I do public speaking or when I coach and I mentor, I like to use the example of the ostrich. If you know, the defense mechanism of the ostrich is when it feels that it's in danger, it will dig a hole, bury its head in the hole, and hope that nobody sees them. Now, here's the problem with that particular strategy. When you bury your head in the sand, your butt is totally exposed. Your butt is totally exposed. So the only thing that you're not going to be aware of is when it's coming. It doesn't change the fact that it is. Good morning, Angie. How you doing? So good to see you. You're going to have to catch the replay, honey. Yeah, so when you bury your head in the sand, your butt is totally exposed. So just be aware of that. And like I said, not knowing is going to cost you. It's really going to cost you. So educate yourself. Reach out to somebody. If you need a coach, mentor, somebody who knows more than you do, there's no shame in that. I have coaches and mentors. I know there's people on here. April is a partner of mine. We really understand the value of having coaches and mentors to help us to advance ourselves, because they compress time for us because they've already had the experience. So they compress time for us and help us to create leverage by availing ourselves of their experience. And lastly, I want you got to make a decision. You're going to make a decision one way or the other. You are going to make a decision one way or the other. Make the right choice. So, as we close today on this happy Friday, go over to my YouTube channel, Hollis02. I'll keep doing that. Hollis205 on YouTube. And make sure that you like this video or like whatever other videos that you check out there. If you're not a subscriber, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification button here so you know when I come on, especially with the You Are Worthy series, Mondays, Wednesday, Fridays. Like and share this video because someone needs this word today. As always, you are worthy. You are worthy to have the life that you want to have. You're worthy to have the things that you desire, and you're worthy to have the outcomes that you want to have in your life. Okay? On that note, listen, may God continue to bless you. You guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you Monday, 10 a.m. Take care. Have a great weekend.